In this video, I'd like to talk about the various types of errors, and towards the end of the video, I'll give you an example of one error. When we talk about errors in coding, we can clarify them or classify them into three distinct groups: syntax errors, logical errors, and runtime errors. Let's talk about syntax errors first, as it is the most common error and it is one of the easiest ones to fix. In fact, if you have a good IDE, you can catch all of or most of the syntax errors that occur. This is when the programmer does not follow the rules of the language. So for example, you may misspell a keyword. In the case of Python, you may have incorrect indentation. You may leave out a symbol such as a colon. That can cause a syntax error. Logical errors are a little bit more difficult to locate and to control, but with a logical error, you don't get a program crash. The program will continue to run and it'll work fine, but you will get incorrect results. Now, sometimes if you have a good IDE, it can help finding logical errors by drawing your attention to suspicious code which it catches. So what are some examples of logical errors? Well, think of integer division instead of floating point division. You may get incorrect results in that case. You may use the wrong variable. You may get the order of precedence incorrect. I'm talking about BODMAS. You may make a mistake with a Boolean expression. You may, in the case of Python, you may indent a block to the wrong level. These are all cases of logical errors. Now, sometimes your program is syntactically correct and you've checked it all for logical errors and things like that, but the program does not run. It does not execute until the end. This is called a runtime error. What are some examples of runtime errors? Well, division by zero. But again, if you have a good IDE, it will catch that error for you. You may be trying to operate on variables of varying type. In other words, you're mixing your types. You may try to use a variable that has not been declared or initialized in some languages. Another common one is trying to access an element in a list or an array, and that element does not exist. These are all runtime errors. Let's take a look now at the Python programming language and how it handles a logical error. Take a look at line number 2. Here we are asking the user to enter a value. Now everything that comes from the keyboard comes in as a string. So on line 3, it is the programmer's duty to turn that string into the type that the program needs. So the program needs a numeric value. So returning a string into a numeric value using the float function. Now, if for some reason the user did not enter a number, then line number 3 will not execute. However, instead of causing a runtime error in that case, what